Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Channel, John J. Caslow JJK, Christmas Blues. I am depressed. Today I realized that I get slightly depressed every Christmas. After the wonderful light reading has ended, every year a heaviness settles over my soul, again a shadow. Especially when the festival of light is celebrated, my mood darkens. I did some research and discovered that Christmas was always the most terrifying time when I was a child. Old images came back to me. First, the dense atmosphere in the narrow kitchen on Christmas Eve. The father's strict, loveless presence was diametrically opposed to the Christmas idol staged by my mother and was unbearable for me. From December 27th then came the relatives and the many people who came to our farm for the annual slaughter in order to cover the annual need for meat for us, our relatives and acquaintances. Every year several pigs had to lose their lives and, as is usual on the farm, everyone worked together. 4 days our stable swam in the blood of the killed pigs. We boys were responsible for cleaning the stables or, with the older women, for washing the intestines, peeling garlic, and any other work that needed to be done. Then there were the church duties such as singing in the choir, star singing, serving as an acolyte or playing the organ. Although these things also gave me joy, they were more of a good opportunity to escape from home. All in all, Christmas from the age of 6 to around 16, after which I opted out, was always a horror. After the holidays I went back to boarding school feeling very happy. Things weren't much better there in the first few years, but from high school onwards I was able to develop well there. These inner images rose before me today, more clearly than they have for a long time. Is this what ruins my mood every year at Christmas? Sananda, deep wounds can heal and they can heal by becoming conscious again. Now is the time when you can allow this to happen in full. The curse of your childhood will be healed. Hardly any adult in your environment knew that children have their own living needs and should not be abused to pursue their own affairs. JJK, why did I have to experience such an unpleasant childhood, especially between the ages of 10 and 16? Sananda, father and mother were determined and chosen by you prenatally. Over the years, your mother lost her bearings and instead of supporting you, she became the declared threat and danger. Your father was caught up in his own traumatic history in everyday life. The struggle for existence determined his life, there was no time to look later, there was no willingness. This incarnation of yours certainly had risks. JJK, why wasn't I born into a family where there was more harmony? The redemption of the ancestral line. Sananda, you and your brother Carl were born into this together so that you could redeem and heal the entire lineage for yourself and those who are ready for it, which means that you never have to be born into a family with such entanglements again or will. This field is now behind you. The potential for healing was the reason for bringing together people who had met each other again and again in different lives and were intertwined in one way or another. These entanglements are redeemed with this life and by putting your own story into the light. JJK, we're not just having this conversation for me. What can people do who suffer from similar symptoms at Christmas or who simply feel like they are in the wrong movie due to certain traditions and expectations? The right questions. Sananda, finding out why and doing what is necessary. Ask yourself the right questions. Are you isolated or do you function according to the will of those around you? Is what you experience at Christmas what you want and desire? Are you feeling well? Is it beautiful the way it is? Have you already emancipated yourself from your parents' expectations and distanced yourself from the ideas of your relatives? If something feels bad and wrong, what do you do? Are you ignoring your inner voice and ignoring your feelings? Or do you say stop and stop? Do you have the courage to really empathize? Are you ready for radical changes? What happens to you at Christmas and why? That is the question. Once you have taken this inventory, you are ready to take action. The most important tools are prayer, meditation, and transformation work. It is a process that, depending on the level of trauma, requires attention and determination. If the will to clarify is present, healing will follow immediately. It takes time to immerse yourself in your story and then emerge again. Time. JJK, today is December 26, 2022. I have read many predictions for the coming year and myself received a wonderful message from Babaji for 2023. Somehow I feel like there's something in the air and yet I can't name it. What's in the air? Sananda, the earth is in constant transformation. On an energetic level, there are no breaks for this. This also affects people. They are constantly being played with the new light vibration from being. This is necessary because you are surrounded by many vibration fields that have a negative impact on people. This cleansing takes place continuously and at the same time you are supplied with uplifting energy that strengthens your nervous and energy systems. This means that very old topics can come up. It brings everything to light and that creates this unrest in people. As soon as they have solved and healed one issue, the next problem areas appear. This creates a certain level of unrest and can also lead to frustration as the end doesn't seem to be in sight. The best way to overcome these phases is to remain calm and simply observe it. Go ahead with your own strengths and let it happen. The balls are passed to you. Embrace it and make the most of it. Then you have achieved a lot. The miracle of this time is that many things can simply go away by themselves, that is, you only need to notice it again, look at it and it dissolves. Lengthy transformation processes are rare today. Everything is going quickly. It happens quickly if the person is willing to let everything come up and look at it. This situation is only unbearable for those people who deny it, who don't want to deal with themselves. These people stick to controlling and complaining. Those who wage war against the reflections of life instead of using them for their own growth, and those who cannot reveal what is close to them, will be followed by misfortune like a shadow. For the light cannot serve those who avoid the truth. JJK, when I'm physically weak, I notice how my energy goes down, it really weighs me down. I'm usually very well centered, but when I have something physical, I lose my center. What should I do? Sananda, continuing to work on staying centered. It's a process. JJK, it also makes me aware of my transience. Sananda, most people only become aware of the finite nature of life shortly before the end. Being aware of finiteness throughout your life raises questions about infinity and that relaxes and makes everything easier. JJK, I already feel relieved and I'm positive again. This is the result of this conversation and your light. Will this last? Sananda, you will emerge from the tunnel very soon into the light. The Christmas season will soon no longer have any power over you. The pain of the first few years is released deep within you. Everything heals.